Jazzinc Catwoman, the final factory version. Let's take a look at some of these photos. Hi everyone and welcome to 16 Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the highly anticipated, highly controversial Jazzinc Catwoman based on the likeness of Michelle Pfeiffer from the Timber 1992 movie Batman Returns. There's a bunch of different SKUs on this. There is a 2-pack, there is a deluxe battle damage, a deluxe clean, and then a regular clean and a regular battle damage. No fully licensed company has ever made this in 6 scale to the best of my knowledge. There have been a few kind of subpar, kind of janky looking third parties. Some people have compared this to a third party, which I don't think is fair at all, and I just think it's completely wrong, to be honest. I have this on pre-order, so full disclosure, this figure is, everyone's going to have something to say about this. Both camps are going to have something to say about this. I'll explain what I mean by both camps, but first of all, full disclosure, I like Batman Returns. I do not have a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. I want one. I wasn't impressed by the third party ones. I'm aware Hot Toys may do this in future. I think they will. But at the moment, this is what I have on order. I have it on payment plan. If it doesn't turn out well, I will cancel and I will lose my deposit. And look, I won't be over the moon about that, but look, that's what I will do. My logic has stayed the same from the start. Wait until I see a final product. And the reason I haven't done a video until now is because I think we're kind of getting close to the final product. I think this is it, folks. It's just not in a box or in the hands of Justin or Philly Z. I heard he's going to get one, and Patrick, Zord Photography. And Justin does fantastic reviews. Zord does amazing photography and posing, and likewise to Philly. So I want to see as many of these reviews as I can, and my payment plan is very long, so I can just, if I'm not happy with it, I'll cancel. But to be honest, I do think these look pretty damn incredible. I just had to. What I'm talking about the camps is, everyone is going to have something to say about this, whether they're getting it or not, and I think it's fine. I don't think you have to buy the figure or be interested in getting the figure in order to have a comment on it. It's perfectly fine. I comment on things all the time. YouTubers all the time will pass comments on things, positive or negative, on things they're not going to get. I think that's perfectly fine. That's why we do this, and that's why we have that Discord. I think that's healthy. What I mean about the camps is, full disclosure, I have this on order. I like Yost. I've had him on the channel multiple times. I think he's a gentleman. I like his company. I think his vehicles are incredible. I think they're the best 1/6 scale vehicles out there in certain cases. For example, the 1989 Batmobile I have there. It's incredible. It's very expensive. I get that. It's much more expensive than Hot Toys, but it's better, so therefore it should be. I have the Tumbler on order. I'm really excited about that. I sold the Hot Toys version 2.0 when I heard he was doing it, because I know it's going to be better, and that particular movie or those movies mean a lot to me, whereas for other things I wouldn't do that. The 1/12th Batwing, that is absolutely coming home. It's the only thing I think I've ever bought that I've no idea where I'm going to put it. Yeah, that's a problem for future, Shane. So on this, what I mean about the two camps is, on one extreme, you have, some people call them Jazzinc fanboys. I call them Jazzinc extremists. I think they're any sort of criticism, no matter how constructive it is or how logical it is or how well it's put across, they can't take it and they lose their minds and they start attacking people. And it's only a small percentage of the Jazzinc fandom. I mean, I'm on the groups. It's pretty positive, you know what I mean? But I've seen people attacked because they offer criticism, something like that, and they can't deal with it. And it's only a small percentage. But at the other end, there is a small percentage of people who are just Jazzinc haters, and they want to see them fail. And no matter how good this is, or how good the 1989 Batmobile was, or the 1/6 scale Batwing, which was incredible, or whatever is, whether it's Poison Ivy or whether it's the Tumbler, they're always just going to hate him, and that's just the way it is. Yeah, that's just the way it is. So before I talk about these images, which I do think look great, let's just remind you of the price of these things. There's 5 different SKUs. Yost, I could see what he's trying to keep everyone happy, but you can only keep some of the people happy some of the time. So I get why he was trying to give people multiple options, but I think that probably puts him under more pressure, to be honest. So
Apologies for quick interruption to this video. If you're watching this video right now, hit the like button and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel and the support is greatly appreciated. Back to the video.
The all-in pack, the one I have on order, it's $1,168.50. That does not include shipping. It does include VAT or taxes or tariffs from whatever your region is. Also, you might be able to get this. You might have to go through kit. I don't know. Depends on the country you are from, the currency, whatever. So $1,168.50. What does that get you? It gets you the deluxe clean version, the deluxe battle damage, and the diorama hell here light up base, which I think looks incredible. We're going to get onto that because that was something that was kind of like plagued by issues and controversy along the development stage. Then for $602.70, you can get the deluxe battle damage version. So obviously battle damage, and it comes with the 3 different heads, all of which are rooted. But originally, they weren't supposed to have separate rolling eyeballs function. And just before it went up for pre-order, I remember he said that some of the sculpts will have, and now, according to today, they'll all have separate rolling eyeballs function, which is pretty impressive. Then for $553.50, so this is the clean deluxe. It's kind of same, only it's all clean sculpts, all clean outfit. 3 sculpts, but they're different to the other ones, and they're all clean, so there's no rooted battle damage hair and that, whatever. And then you've got the single, just the regular non-deluxe battle damage version. I will click into this briefly. It's $418.20. I'll click into that in 1 second. Actually, no, I'll click into this one, the cheapest one, $387.47 for the regular clean. So this is only come with, basically the regular ones, they only come with 1 sculpt, whereas the deluxe battle damage and the deluxe clean comes with 3, and then if you're getting the all-in 2-pack with the diorama, comes with 6. Okay, so what does the clean come with? The custom, basically the suit, the body, 1 head sculpt with rolling eyes, 9 gloved posed hands, the same as the battle damage version, a taser, a whip, and a snow-covered base. Not the dio, different thing altogether. Just wanted to remind you of what everything comes with. So, I'm going to flick through. I've got some of these images. I'll start with, I'm just going to start in order of the way they were posted. Okay, so this is obviously a battle damage version. It has rooted hair there, and this is what it's been named the deranged sculpt. So this is when she's starting to go really mad towards the end. The suit is getting battle damaged. Her hair is kind of coming out like this. This is before she tases Max Schreck, the kind of villain, one of the villains, one secondary villain. Penguin and him was one of the villains in the movie. I think this sculpt looks incredible. I've always liked this. It looks crazy. It looks deranged. I think it captures the likeness of Michelle Pfeiffer, and it captures the kind of the craziness and kind of real quirkiness of the Catwoman character. I think the neck might look a tad long there, but I don't know, is that just me? I remember, it's funny, like, you can't win, because I think on one of the streams he did months ago, he held up one of these to the screen and people were like, where's its neck? And now its neck is a little too long. People have commented on the battle damage and they're wondering, like, over time, is that going to tear? Well, if you're messing around with it and you're heavily posing it, probably, like, you know, that's the reality of it. I mean, with this character here, like, I'm gonna have to keep the poses simple. That's just, again, each to their own. People want to do really dynamic poses with that. Let me know how that works out. With this one here, I'm gonna keep it simple. I would be conscious of that tearing even further. She was famously vacuum packed into that suit, and they had multiple different suits for her anyway. So he kind of picked the big one to go with. But just zooming in on this, there are separate rolling eyeballs functions, and they don't look bug-eyed. So just in case you don't know what's the separate rolling eyeballs function, it kind of does exactly what it does in the tin. The eyeballs can actually move, but sometimes when Hot Toys do it, it looks very bug-eyed, depending on the release. But I think the mascara is done really well. I think the paint apps and the teeth's done quite well. I think it captured the likeness. I like the way, like, if you look at the battle damage on the mask, there's that hole there revealing the skin underneath, and of course where the hair is coming out there's a lot of detailing then as well. The pattern here is printed on, I believe, but I believe it was actually printed on in the movie too as well. So like that is the way that they did it. The alternative was actually stitch it, and I just don't think that's possible at that scale. You have, yeah, this is just another different type of sculpt with a different, very, very different expression, to be fair. Has the rooted hair, obviously from the battle damage, but you know, similar, the same body, obviously just swap out head sculpt. This is one of the clean head sculpts. I don't think I'd use this one, to be honest. I mean, I can see the likeness to Michelle Pfeiffer, it's just not my favorite one. I mean, are they this? I think they're the same, aren't they? I can't really tell if they're the same there. It's the same expression. Yeah, they're the same one. And then this, no, I thought there was the other one coming. That's a third sculpt then. So if you look here, so you have this one, deranged. She looks more shocked there, and then the third version there, she looks a bit angry too, but not as. I think the deranged one is probably the most impressive one. This sculpt, I can really see the likeness to Michelle Pfeiffer, even though it's such a weird sculpt. If you haven't seen the movie, it's like, why is she sticking her tongue out? But of course, there's that ridiculous, like the movie is ridiculous, let's be honest, scene where she actually starts cleaning herself. She has a bath, and like you can't help but laugh at it, like, but she just completely embodies the character. She just goes for it, and that's what makes it kind of the movie so special, I suppose. Yeah, and there's the third sculpt. So these two, yeah, they're the same, just different lighting. So there's the same, just kind of like I suppose a smiling sculpt or smirk sculpt. Then you have the kind of licking sculpt. Then just a basic smile as well. Now this is what I'm really interested in. This is what pushed me to order the 2-pack, because I'll tell you straight out, if this had been available with, say, the deluxe battle damage or the deluxe clean, or even like the regular clean, or it wouldn't be, because where are they going to give this with a regular? But if this was, I think if this was available with the deluxe battle damage or deluxe clean, I would have gone for the deluxe clean and called it a day. But because I knew, like, I got some module cases into my left now, and well, even that would fit in the Blaleed and I could just wire it up, but it's going to be easier for me to wire things up now. And I just had this image of that wired up, hiding the wire behind, you'll never see it, that lit up, and her standing there with one or two of the cats with the whip and stuff like that. Actually it was in the clean, so that's why if this had been offered with the deluxe clean, that's what I would have gone for. But I opted for the 2-pack, and that was a big decision. I said, you know what, put on a payment plan, put on an 18-month payment plan, chip away $50 a month for a year and a half. It's, you know, it's a lot of money, but it'd be an easier pill to swallow if I can break that up. I do like the payment plan option. And I do love battle damage. So my plan for this is every now and then she'll be with the clean, with one head sculpt, then I'll swap her out with the battle damage to another, and then swap it back to the clean with the other head sculpt or whatever. That's what I'm going to do. Or maybe sometimes I'll pose the two of them actually on the same base, depending on how I feel or depending on how it works out. Now this one, there was issues with this, but he has taken on board feedback. I will actually read out the little blurb on the feedback. So why did I order this? I'm going to start that again, sorry. Why did I order this one? What did I like about it? I love the light up feature. I am a sucker for light up features, whether it is a fusion reactors kit or just wiring your own Iron Man to have the arc reactor light up and the eyes and the repulsors on the hands or the bits of the legs. Even now they're so intricate. It just brings the figure to life, whether it's an Iron Man or a Neo LED or CCFL lightsaber for the Star Wars figures, because the Hot Toys lightsabers, they're just not as good as the custom ones, let's be honest. Or if it's a light up base, like just taking a quick look around, there's the Death Star environmental light up hallway bases, they're class. Or the Bespin Luke base, that's another one of my favorites. Anyway, you've probably seen me say all this stuff before anyway. But first of all, the light up feature works really well. I love the way you can really see it's instead of hello there, it's hell here. That's so vibrant. One of the criticisms was that I think one of the criticisms was that people thought it was actually going to be painted, and that the T and the O weren't as dark, and people were seeing hello there instead of hell here. But they might have been forgetting that it was always meant to light up, and this is the first time that I have seen it actually lit up, and I actually love the look of it. Another concern was that it was advertised with snow on the top of the ledge and the bottom, and then Warner Brothers was saying they didn't want snow on the bottom part, so which is bizarre, but look, whatever. But what he's done is he's gone and he's included the parts separately that you can click in here. Now I can't see much detailing on that snow. It just looks like a white piece of plastic, to be honest, so I'll have to take a look and make a judgment call on that. I'm hoping there's some sort of texture on it, because, you know, snow is, it's not completely smooth. There should be some sort of texture on it. I love the fact that the window is there, so he's installed the window and you can see some parts of the room. I can't quite make out what is inside. I'm not sure if it's the leg of a bed or a chair or something like that. Love that. And then there's, of course, he's put the latch and the frame on the window as well, which so he's listened to the feedback. And in fairness, like, you know, he could have just ignored that. I mean, I ordered this and it didn't have the latch or the window frame. I liked the look of it without it. I was a bit kind of put off when the snow wasn't going to be included, because I was like, oh, I don't know, this is kind of a deal breaker. Like, I want the diorama was one of the things that it was the thing really that made me order that 2-pack. Let's be honest, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. So I am delighted that, you know, you've got the snow option not only on the top, but you've the clip-on option. Looking, I presume, again, they said it's the final factory version, so I assume that's snow. I just can't see the texture on it, but I assume it's the final factory piece. It just looks like plastic to me, to be honest. I know it is plastic, but you can see a bit of texture on it, but I'm wondering, is there going to be actually, when I have it in hand, can I see actually a little bit more texture going on? I do think that looks incredible. I just want to pause that there. But yeah, so I'm glad they updated the snow, both on the diorama, and they've included that clip-in part. It's a kind of a good workaround. I'm glad that they put the window in, the frame, the latch. That hell here, you can still see the T barely and the O barely. That looks like the way it did. The curtains, I think the curtains could be a bit more natural looking. I remember the curtains were, if I do recall, they're a bit more of they're nicer curtains, I suppose, softer curtains, where these ones are, I think they just look a bit kind of straight. Now, it's not a deal breaker at all, because like the sum of its parts, looking at it, it does look incredible. But I had to critique there, it'll be the clip-on part of the snow. I do like that, but I can't tell if there's texture on it at the moment. And the curtains, I think it looks really well here, but I do recall those curtains, I think they were a bit nicer in the prototype images. You know what, let's have a look at the prototype images before I go into what Joost was saying about the updates he makes. So there's definitely updates that he's made that I've just forgot. Yeah, look, you can see it here. You can see it here. Let's, to be fair now, I have to critique that. Yeah, see the curtains here? They're much nicer. That might seem like a nitpick, but they look like natural curtains and better material. Whereas I see all the stuff inside there now. So obviously that print is what's inside. Yeah, that's the stuff I was making out with the table. Brilliant. He's delivered, to be fair. He has delivered. The only critique is that the curtains here are not as nice as... They're nicer than that. They're 100% nicer. There's no question. Yeah. And look, apparently this is the final version though, so you're going to make your peace with it or not. You've got the frame, which is now here, and you have the latch and stuff like that. But yeah, but with the exception of the curtains, I think he has delivered, and he's gone a step further by adding in that latch and the frame. So is there a frame on that? Yeah, because look, this is just straight. Just the concrete part, and then here you've got, yeah, it's doubled over, and there's a little latch, you can see it. So look, I am delighted with that, and I'm looking forward to getting that in hand. Now I want to see what he said. So this is post. I'm so stoked. I think he's kind of baiting some of the haters there. Yeah, fair play to you, Joost. Get your own back. To see some of the final production pieces. So he did say it. So I've heard him call these final factory versions, final factory pieces, and now final production pieces. So I think this is it. It just has to be packaged up in the box. We need to see some reviews. We took a little longer to do some tweaks and free upgrades, but it turned out much nicer. He's taken longer because he knows how important this is to his business. It's the first figure and it needs to be good. We've seen things like this before. The In-Art 2-pack took its time coming out. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was announced early Q1 2022 and it was slated to come out in Q3 or 4 of the same year, and realistically it didn't come out until the very end of that year, and then people didn't get them in hand until well into 2023, if I believe. And it took a long time. The Batman Robert Pattinson took ages as well. So we've seen this with companies on their first or second or even third figure. They want to get them right. They want to, you know, hit the ground running, and they want to release something, because if the first one bombs, it's kind of game over. Like, you know, we're that kind of community. We took a little longer to do some tweaks and free upgrades, but it turned out so much nicer. And thank you all for the feedback as always. When we are a community, work together, amazing things be created. If you're curious, the free upgrades from the prototype are moving running eyeballs to all sculpt. Yeah, originally it's supposed to be there was no rolling eyeballs, and then I think it was one. Say if you got the deluxe, I think it was like 1 out of the 3 was going to be separate rolling eyeballs function, but not all of them. So they all have separate rolling eyeballs function. Improved and much more accurate body, surface mounted stitching on the suit, better materials. Cats from single black painted to flocked. Yeah, they weren't supposed to be flocked, so whether you like them or not, they weren't originally supposed to be flocked. I actually prefer the flocked over the plastic. With separate eyes and nose. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Is there swap out parts, or is there just like they're just separate pieces that are stuck on instead of being one mold? Maybe that's it. Back wall now has separate window frame and window and a knob! Exclamation mark, hilarious. Free cat added to basic version, so anyone getting the basic, you get the cat. Free stat, and the deluxe get 2 each, 2 different poses. Free statue busts with cover added to DX and 2-pack. Separate snow on the ground diorama. Well, that was supposed to come with the diorama, to be fair, now just made it removable. Extra strong magnetic boots. I like that. And then boot pins to secure figure earthquake proof without visible ugly crotch grabber. I like both of those. I think those two and the window is probably my favorite updates. And then too many small things to mention. Look, some people are going to love this. Some people are going to hate this. Even though these are the final factory versions or final factory pieces or production pieces, I think it is, to be honest. I think it's going to be as good as it gets. He just needs to release this. It isn't going to be released though until September or October, so there is another delay, unfortunately. It doesn't make a difference to me because I'm on a payment plan, like I said, for the next year. So I've got the luxury of time, and I can just keep chipping away, watch all the reviews, and then if I like it, super, it'll be more or less paid off. And if I don't, then I'll cancel. But honestly, based on what I've seen today, I don't think I'm going to be cancelling this. I think they've done good. Yeah, I think they've done good. All right, folks. So, yeah, look, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this piece, if you're getting it or not. Yeah. And follow me on Instagram. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.